So I'm going to be honest, it seems like the One Piece TCG market is starting to move up again. There's a lot of hype happening in the market right now. We've got OP16 about to come out, OP17's around the corner, we've got new sets being released, new tournaments, a ton of new stuff. I've been hearing about this gold Nami card and other things as well that's going to be coming out with new products. There's just so much going on right now, especially with the promos and all that stuff. However, there's a corner of the market that is finally starting to see the recognition it has always deserved. And we're going to be talking about these specific type of cards in this video. And guys, these cards mean so much more than you realize. You're going to want to stick around and see what I got to say. But before we get into it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you're interested in getting some gamer subs, click my link down in the description below. Use code POPPERTHEORY. Get 10% off your order and enjoy yourself some gamer subs. All right, guys, without any further ado, let's get into it. So there's obviously been a lot of mania going on with all these different cards being bought out. We've got the gold leader cards being bought out, the promo cards being bought out. So many things are happening right now. But guys, there has been a hill that I have always said I'll die on when it comes to the top valued cards in the One Piece TCG. We're not talking about mangas, we're not talking about SPs, we are talking about Treasure Cup cards. So if you didn't know, Bandai has a ton of tournaments in the One Piece TCG. You know, we've got these Treasure Cup tournaments, worldwide championships, regionals, local game store kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, lots of interesting things taking place, and they give out these special type of cards that can only be won, basically, from these events. Now, obviously, Treasure Cup cards are at the top of the crop, if you know what I'm saying, and we're going to be looking at Treasure Cup cards today, more specifically, taking a look at what's going on with them right now, and if you should be considering buying some in the near future. But, you know, I'm not going to go too much into detail about all the events and all that sort of stuff, but we've got events coming up already. You can actually go on Bandai's official website and or the One Piece card game official website, and you can see here, you know, we actually just finished up this event right here. And the great thing about the website is it actually shows you all the details, it shows you all the cards won and stuff like that. And you know, every now and again they will award an uncut sheet from one of the booster boxes as well. These things go for tens of thousands of dollars. They're super cool, really unique pieces of art. But of course, as you can see here, they also give out these trophy cards for the top 64, top 16, and top 8. Now, sometimes they do like a top 4. They have serialized awards and stuff like that as well. There's just a ton of different cards. Yeah, as you can see here, serialized Zoro. You know, these things are crazy. These events are crazy. They also give out playmats and stuff that are worth a lot of money as well. Just a lot to consider, a lot to digest when it comes to this side of things. And the thing that I love so much about this section of the One Piece TCG is that it's not just appealing to collectors or investors. It is a legitimate piece built on the player base. And that's what I love about the One Piece TCG so much. Bandai has created just this perfect market for every kind of person who wants to join. We've got the collectors who love the cards. We've got the investors who want to invest in the cards. And we've got the players who they want to do good. They want to go to these tournaments. They want to win these Treasure Cup cards, these uncut sheets. And these cards, guys, they go for a ton of money. This card alone, I've been seeing selling for $8,000. We've got a whole lot of different price ranges going on here because, let's be really honest, there's very low print for these cards. These cards only exist from these tournaments. So, you can imagine, top 8 card, probably not going to be too many that exist. But let's actually take a look at the Nami here. Where is that? Yeah, so I've been seeing this Nami here selling. People are asking between $4,000 to $5,000 for this card. I actually am going to show you a post on one of the local Facebook markets I'm on. Somebody's asking $5,200 Canadian, so it's a little above $4,000 USD. And you can also see here we've got a Nico Robin winner card. They're asking $1,100. And I think this is a top 4 Perona. This is one of the recent events that took place. They're asking for $290. Now I'm seeing people try to sell this card for $200. It doesn't have the stamp. It doesn't have, you know, the cool stuff like the Nami here. And these are things you need to consider when you want to look into investing in Treasure Cup cards. But the thing that I feel like not many people understand, right, is that you can go buy as many packs as you like, buy as many booster boxes or all these sealed products, right? You can do as much as you like with this. But these cards are they're so laser focused in, they're so unique, there's such low print runs of these cards, they're trophy cards. They are awarded to winners. And the fun thing about these cards is that if somebody is ever selling these cards to you and they're actually saying they won them, they can actually send you their name from the official website or from like websites that track like the names of the participants and prove that they won these cards. There's a lot of really cool things about Treasure Cup cards, but they're incredibly rare, and their prices are finally starting to increase. Let's take a look at this Charlotte Pudding Championship from 2024, so not that long ago. We're seeing a 120% increase in the last 6 months. Now, you may say this isn't the craziest run-up, right? But we've been seeing this take place with a lot of different cards. We've been seeing this happen with the Tony Chopper card. I bought this card for $300, and it is now worth $1,500, okay, Canadian. We can see here it's gone up to $1,100, but we've got listed prices going up to $2,300. The other thing too to consider is that it's really hard to go on TCG Player and track the prices of Treasure Cup cards because there's so few of them on the market. If one person sells it for a certain price, it's going to have a dramatic spike and impact on the rest of that specific card. Another thing to consider too, by the way, and I'm going to be giving you a lot of really interesting advice, is that different characters on these cards significantly impact the price of these cards. Now, in a way, I sort of don't agree with this, but it's also, it's just an opinion. But, we've got a few examples now of like top 64, top 16, top 8 cards where the prices don't necessarily make sense. For example, we've got a top 64 BOA here, and as you can see, the price is $4,000 USD, right? This is a top 64 card as well. But when we come over to, say, Beckman, which was a card given out from a Treasure Cup event last year, and this was actually next to the, next to the Shanks, which was the top 8, we can see this card is significantly cheaper. However, its impact still matters. This is a top 16, right? But again, characters do significantly impact, I guess the demand for the card. Even if this is a top 16, even if this is a flex, you didn't get the right character and the price is affected, right? Same thing with Kenjaku here, it was a top 64, and you know what, no one really cares about Kenjaku, she's kind of a new character, we only really saw her in Egghead, she's Navy, all that sort of stuff, all these things got to be considered. And same with Tashigi, by the way. Tashigi is literally, so neglected. No one seems to like Tashigi. Same thing with her as well. But you get a top 64 BOA, like $5,000, $4,000, you got a Nami, oh man. $5,000. Crazy stuff. Now, another really crazy thing to think about with these Treasure Cup cards is not only the fact there's limited prints of these cards, there's a very, very limited amount of these cards exist, and they're very unique, and you can only get them from winners, is also the fact that there are certain cards, Treasure Cup cards, that are so rare, it's insane, okay? And an example is this 2023 trophy card, this Kaido Treasure Cup card, guys. I believe there was only 3 given out for the top 3 winners. This card, you don't even have market information on this card. Yeah, black label, only 2 pop count, $111,000, and I'm assuming that's USD as well. And this is the second place Kaido. Wow, that's insane. So yeah, just absolute insanity, and that's second place, by the way. So I can only imagine how much this type of card is. I remember looking at this a year ago, and somebody had this card, or maybe it was the third place, for $10,000. And not that I could afford that, or most of us could afford that, but gosh, do I regret not even considering getting that card, because I'm sure it's worth a hell of a lot more money now. Same thing with this card right here. You've probably heard about this Luffy card. This is a World Championship. This is the bronze now, so this was the third place card. But they did the same thing. They gave only 3 copies of these type of cards, and technically each version of it was its own unique version. Like they had the bronze, the silver, and the gold. So it's like, and this is selling for $150,000, right? So absolute insanity, guys. These are incredibly, incredibly pristine. I would probably say close to the pinnacle for the One Piece TCG market. In terms of cards, in terms of rarity, in terms of things you want to invest in, guys, do not look away from Treasure Cup cards. Now, granted, they're expensive. There was a time that you could probably pick up a few of these for a decent price, $300-$400 here and there, but it's getting pretty hard now to come across these at a cheap, affordable price. And the thing is too with these cards is they tick all the boxes. They're scarce, they're high in demand, they're beautiful cards. Like you're holding a card of like you're buying trophies basically, right? So it's a cool flex, and they're super unique, right? There was somebody locally actually trying to sell this card for $1,400, and I'm kind of like, I mean, it's actually still affordable, but it was a PSA 10 as well. But like, man, you know, I'm just like, there's so many opportunities, right? But not everybody got, you know, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 to just dish out on a whim, right? But guys, these cards are incredible. They're super awesome, you know, and again, it supports the player base. The people who, they want to get better with their decks, they want to go to these tournaments, they want to win these cards, and they want to, you know, possibly sell them. That's pretty cool for collectors and investors. Now, obviously, not every person who's going to win is going to sell their cards, so that's something to keep in mind. But guys, there's just so many variations of cards out there. There's a lot of Treasure Cup cards that exist. We've also got like the championship cards and stuff like that. There's a lot going on in this space. But I really do think these type of cards are worth the chase, especially the Treasure Cup cards. And you know they're Treasure Cup cards because they've got that arrow stamp on it right here, as you can see. And not to mention, they're just crazy textured, man. Like the card, like the outer edges of the card is textured. Everything about these cards are textured. Super fantastic cards. I mean, I'm not going to tell you to buy up every single Treasure Cup card that exists, because there are certainly ones that are not going to be as high in demand. But you see Shanks on it, it's probably going to do well. You see Luffy on it, you see Boa, you see Sanji. This Sanji card was actually the first Treasure Cup card I ever bought. And here, I'm just going to take it out here real quick. As you can see right here, I actually bought this from somebody who won this card years back. But yeah, they're super gorgeous cards. Now this Sanji was a top 64, but like again, like the stamp is super cool. You know, obviously a lot of people are not crazy about the Wano look for Sanji, so again, you know, it's character based, it's design based and stuff like that, but really gorgeous card. Very happy to own this card. And as you can see in the back there too, there's like this really cool checker pattern. My camera's not picking it up too well, but there's just crazy detail on these cards, and I absolutely can't get over how nice they look. Overall, if you can somehow win these cards in tournaments, you know, if you can afford the money to get these cards at a decent price, I do think they're gonna do well over time. Again, they're really rare, they're really unique, and they're super cool. But I also implore you guys to maybe consider getting into the card game. I used to go to a couple of tournaments. I'll be honest, I'm not that great. You know, I had some friends who were like night and day strategizing, doing stuff. I just couldn't do it with school and stuff. It was just too much. But the card game is super fun. There's a simulator. You know, this is a card game, and it is really cool participating in these. The decks are super awesome. The way Bandai created this card game, it's fantastic. It's actually a really fun card game, and if you've watched One Piece, it's very like the show. I mean, the characters you play, they kind of operate the same as you'd expect them to. And I mean, how cool would it be for you to win these cards as well? I mean, forget the money for a second. How awesome would it be to win the top 8 or go to like the World Championships, win your regionals, you know, even win at your local card store? It's a cool flex. You know, it makes people want to be more involved, and it's something to consider. But anyways, guys, there you have it. That's the video. You know, I hope this did provide a bit of interesting insight. I love Treasure Cup cards. They are awesome. And Bandai's always releasing new ones. So it's definitely cool to see this card game still going strong and rewarding its player base. But anyways, guys, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. A video should pop up on the screen. Be sure to click it, and I will see you over there.